Welcome everyone to this reading. I wish I had a very amazing or delightful intro, but I really don't. I like to go straight into it because then I feel like I talk too much and then I might lose you guys, okay? So I don't have a sign, meaning astrological sign that I want to focus on. I feel like it should be for everyone. Anybody can actually gain from the information that's provided. Okay, so I wanted to start with the Retank affirmation cards, which are pretty good. I really love this deck of cards. It's very impactful, I feel. So let's start with one before we get into the tarot reading. Okay, inner strength. Hopefully, this is, you can see it clearly. Okay, it says, I draw upon my inner strength and resilience in times of difficulty. I can overcome any challenges that comes my way. I am a warrior of light and I shine brightly even in the darkest of times. Can we have some focus here? Oh, I hate that. I'm going to say it again. I draw upon my inner strength and resilience in times of difficulty. I can overcome any challenge that comes my way. I am a warrior of light and I shine brightly even in the darkest of times. The fact that this doesn't want to, you know, focus itself, now it does, but I feel like sometimes we waver, okay, from the path that you're on, from the journey that you chose to embark on. We waver a lot of times for different reasons. A lot of things can get in our way emotionally. We can get distracted. Like sometimes we don't realize the power of focus, where like other people might call it like having that tunnel vision, right? And that's all you see, but sometimes you need that to overcome everything else that you no longer want to be in. So the only thing that annoyed me was the fact that you can see it clearly, but you get the point. Okay, so let's see where the tarot's gonna lead us. Let's see what's going to be the focus. I just want to do two reading. I'm just gonna start with a 3 card reading. Focus, what's helping or hindering, and then advice. And then I want to do a 5 card reading, which will have a little bit more information. Okay, and I might take a sip of coffee, so hopefully that won't be too distracting. Okay, so for the focus, we have the Five of Pentacles. Mm. I said because this is not really the card that we actually want to see. Okay, but for you guys, just focus on the picture. Like, you should be able to see where that fits. Five of Pentacles is usually a card about lack, okay? And then you could add a little bit depth into it. So since this is a Five of Pentacles, I feel like five is about change. So it could be two things. It could be like you are looking at an empty space and you're calling on the muse and creativity and trying to see what you're going to do with it. This could talk about like, an artist that's lacking inspiration too. And your connection to your inspiration makes you feel alive. So if you don't feel alive, what is the point of doing it? You know, like we value different things as human beings, but there is a heart connection always. So, what's helping or hindering this? Five of Pentacles, which could talk about lack. I feel like the lack is of inspiration, but let's see. Could talk about money too. Could talk about people. Yeah, I feel like this has to do with somehow having low self-esteem, but I feel like to the person that's the focus here, we could see the emperor here. So I feel like helping or hindering. So this person could be intimidating to other people because they stand in their strength. So if you're having, if you feel like you're lacking in some ways, this person makes you feel kind of weak. They make you feel like you're an outcast. They make you feel like you're not good enough. Okay. For others, that's where you need to be. If it's, if it's not related to anybody else, this is where you actually want to be. And sometimes, if it has to do with a personal project, wanting to have mastery, sometimes you might have to take certain paths that have been unknown to you that you are not used to, that you have no idea where they're going to lead. What I like about this card, okay, is that since it's a five, it's like it almost gives me the inner energy of the tower card. For those of you who don't know what the tower card is, it's usually, if you look at the picture, it looks scary because people are getting thrown off the building, and there's like lightning striking. So lightning striking. Um, so it's unstable. So that means that in some kind of sense, things are changing. Like if you feel like this, right? If you think your reality it looks like this, it won't for so long because you have the power to bring about the change. And I feel like with the Emperor energy, which is usually representative of Aries, it's a mental thing, okay? 'Cause- And as you see here, there's this frame here. So it's like reference to what? Like, are you like you're not good enough in reference to who or to what, or maybe you're, like when they talk about visualization and having like a manifestation board, or like having a picture on the wall to remind you where you want to be. I feel like this is where you want to be, but your reality doesn't really reflect what's happening. So, in a sense, you have to have some kind of mental resilience to get you where you want to go, and not being distracted by others, by other people issue. Sometimes people call you on the phone to gossip about negative things. And I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be aware of what's going on in your loved ones' um, life. It's just that certain things shouldn't affect you on an emotional sense to make you feel like you have to belittle yourself, or you have to, because this we could look at it from both sides, right? Maybe because everybody else around you've been taking a loner's path, right? And you might have arrived to a point where you are successful, or you are very sure of yourself, right? Aries don't need nothing to be very sure of themselves. Okay, it doesn't need material. It just knows that self is mastery. Self is powerful. As long as I get to know myself more and more, I just, not only do I love it, but I understand the value that's within myself. That's what Aries is good at. He's good at making they they look good, they feel good about themselves, but that's all they do. They're reflecting that energy onto you because that's how you're supposed to feel about yourself. Okay? Because Aries is about authenticity. So, what's authentic to you? Okay, this took kind of too long. Okay. What is the advice in here? We have two cards coming out. We have the Eight of Wands. I like that. I feel like this is about like once you tap into this energy of the Emperor, look at it. You don't even need the fancy clothes, okay? You don't need the crown. You don't even need to have like a stable, beautiful chair, okay? You don't even need to have them boots. But as long as you love yourself and you prioritize your own, I feel like your own mind, because some of you have great ideas. And once you once you actually are able to put those ideas into some kind of shape or framework, then you're gonna see the good positive consequences of these. Like, I feel like maybe you might be hiding because you feel like things are not perfect, things are not the way that you want them to be, but in reality you might have been closed off and you just need to open up to your own power. But like asserting yourself mentally and then emotion, I feel like the emotion, you don't really know how to really put it into some kind of shape or form. So maybe some of you are in this path where you're like, I don't want this no long. I no longer want this. But you're like, where do I go now if I'm starting over, right? I know I've known the path that I've been in because I've done it so many times. But now you're going into a different direction. Where is it leading me? Well, it's leading you toward yourself because the eight here is about power as well. People love this 888. I don't really get it, but that's for my own opinion and the things that I've experienced so far. But Eight of Wands is pretty much of a good card where your things are gonna happen. Like once you get back to yourself, once you assert yourself within yourself, I feel like you're gonna be open to a lot of good ideas on how to bring about changes or how to bring about the things that you want because eight also has to do with um, the cycle of life, but are also related to the eighth house of astrology that has to do with endings and beginning. Like, I feel like you have to look within yourself to know not your beginnings. I mean, like, those are more like your memories. You already know that, but it's almost like you're trying to take out all the things that are blinding you from who you are. You're trying to get to the core of who you are and what you're really made of. Because maybe you've been, working in a circus. Working in a circus, yeah. You've been, I don't know. I feel like if you've been puppeteer, you realize that you've become a tool instead of a person. And because of that, you feel like you're only good for one thing, but you haven't really opened up to all of your powers, to all of your qualities, or you're not, maybe because you're self conscious, you're not really paying attention to all of the things that you've acquired so far. And also, if you're like just starting out on a new path and you're not really seeing the result right away, I feel like you need to embody this energy of the emperor because it's not really about the outcome, it's about your own power. Okay? I was holding this card, not even looking at it. This is the sun. Okay? You are going to feel truly fulfilled. Sorry, because it rhymes. You are going to feel truly fulfilled in your life once you embody your own energy. You don't have to be an Aries, okay? Whoever you are, as long as you live authentically within that and have, it's like you almost need to like give yourselves props. You need to make a list of all your pros. You already know your cons. You're already self-conscious about those. But focus on your pros, like the things that you're good at, the things that makes you feel happy, the things that makes you feel pretty much excited. Don't mind my coloring. I don't. Let's not talk about what I've done here. But yeah, I was into my childish energy and I just said, fuck it. I'm just gonna do whatever. I feel like also maybe some of you are starting a business and you're overly focusing on if it's a website, you're focusing on what the website's gonna look like. And maybe you're not good at that and you're kind of wasting time and it's making you feel insecure. And it's like maybe you need, and if it's because of the money, I feel like, well, this is an investment. And you have to understand that this investment is made into you. So you're never going to lose. You're always going to be gaining, and your investments is going to provide you with more. The sun is one of the most positive card in the deck. Just get it. So yes, like I'm going to say that if you have a fire sign friend, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, learn from them. What you can learn from Sagittarius is that sometimes you need time for yourself. Like you don't need to be uh, part of the peer pressure trend that seems sometimes to go on even in adulthood, which is kind of ridiculous. And also, peer pressure could be coming from your own parents. So, yeah, okay. And Aries will learn, will teach you how to stand for yourself and to love yourself. Aries is all the Aries in the world, they love themselves. They're very conceited to themselves. But they love the world. They're not like Leo, right? They're not opposite Aquarius. They love friends. They love people. They care about others, but not to the disregard of themselves. Because also, as you can see, usually in the Rider Waite deck, there is like a mountainous. Actually, depending on the decks that you choose, there are mountainous, desert like, desert, desert. Okay, sorry. Desert like, you know, meaning like it's an arid place. It's very dry. It's the new beginning. Aries feels comfortable with new beginnings. They own that shit. Okay? Because they're like, let me show you what I can do. Right? And then Leos are here to help you have fun. They're able to, they're letting you know that, like, I feel like Leos are the one that kind of invented the passive income mentality because the fifth house of astrology is ruled by Leo, which is also ruled by the sun, but it's about like your hobbies, the things that you're happy to do, the things that you are naturally born to do. It's like this is me, right? It's the more conceited aspect of Aries. Leo just tells you that you get inspiration by just having fun. You're just laying down on the beach, and all of a sudden your phone starts ringing, and you have an opportunity, maybe opportunity for friendship, right? Or opportunity to connect. Like it's these things, the things that you love doing allows you to get the whole aspect of what you want. Yes, you put in the work, right? But there's a time for you to not to stand back and observe. And sometimes not even observe, just pay attention to your own self because you are a priority other than everything else that's going on, other than everything else that people or things or even yourself seems to, put so much importance into. You are the most important thing in the world. Thank you.